Transformers Rise of the Beasts is out now, bringing us back to the world of Optimus Prime and Megatron, explosions and mayhem. And today, we're going to take a look at those robots in disguise and try our best to find the top 10 most powerful Transformers out there. So let's get to it. What's up guys, I'm Daniel and this is DanCo. We do fight breakdowns every week, plus the occasional power ranking video like this one or things like that. So if that seems interesting to you, we'll sit back and enjoy the video. Hit that like button. If you want to, we'll hit the subscribe button while you're at it. Now let's get to it. Megatron, aka Galvatron, was not always the viciously powerful and brutally direct leader of the Decepticons. He was once brother in arms with Optimus and a student of Sentinel Prime, appointed to be Cybertron's protector and commander of its defense force. But Megatron resented his comrade, knowing he was a Prime and therefore Sentinel's favorite son. This anger allowed the Fallen to ensnare him and led to the revival of the Decepticons. Even without the Fallen though, it's not hard to imagine that Megatron would have erupted Cybertron into war to rid himself of Optimus. Megatron tends to become so obsessed with the object of his desires that he can ignore secondary matters, creating glaring flaws in his plans. Otherwise, he likely wouldn't have chased after the Allspark alone and spent centuries trapped in the Arctic. But trying to talk Megatron out of blindly going after his goals is useless. He will risk his world, his troops, and even his own spark to achieve his goals. These things don't matter to Megatron. For all his evils and all his faults though, Megatron does genuinely strive to save his home planet someday, and with it, the Cybertronian race, even if it means he has to rule it with his iron fist and put his bloodlust to good use to do so. Sentinel Prime hails from an older time when Cybertron was the galaxy's crown jewel and the Transformer race was full of promise and potential. The only known remaining Prime, he personified what a leader should be: wise, compassionate, and a more than worthy warrior. Revered by both Autobots and Decepticons, few would dare stand against his shield and Primemax blade. But when Sentinel was presumably lost forever aboard the Ark, Optimus Prime, his hand-picked successor, was left to fill his void. The loss of Sentinel signaled the end of Cybertron's golden age, and the planet spiraled deeper into war. Some who recall Sentinel's reign bitterly remember when Transformers were masters of their fate, rather than scattered to the stars and living as exiles. Above all though, Sentinel Prime is a staunch patriot. He loves his home planet with all that he is and will do anything, even go to the extremes, to protect it. Even the Decepticons are afraid of this guy, because once Lockdown has been hired to track down a subject, nothing stops him from completing his transaction short of total deactivation. Answering only to his creators, Lockdown holds himself above the Autobot Decepticon war and sees both sides as squabbling children that he has to rein in personally. He doesn't think much higher of other civilized species across the galaxy, though he isn't above working with them if it suits him. Lockdown is a bounty hunter at heart, always fulfilling the contract and missions he's assigned to as long as he's paid. He doesn't really care what he has to do in order to fulfill his contract, eager to destroy entire planets if it's necessary. As king of the Dinobots, Grimlock believes that the best approach to a problem is to smash it first, worry about the specifics later. One of the most powerful warriors in the universe, he likes nothing more than showing off his strength, leaving his enemies stomped, chomped, or turned to ash by a blast of his fire breath. This rather rough and tough attitude extends to his Autobot companions, who are expected to meet Grimlock's standard of strength. That said, the Autobots have a lot less to fear from this behemoth than the Decepticons. The largest subterranean life form native to Cybertron, Drillers are not to be taken lightly. Enormous multi-tentacled beasts capable of burrowing through the ground or through buildings, they're capable of great destruction and carnage on a massive scale. They're semi-sentient at best and can only obey simple commands, but they also develop intense loyalty to their masters. Naturally, all these qualities have endeared them to Shockwave, who keeps one as a pet and personal transport. The one owned by Shockwave is bred specifically for war, and as such is considerably larger than other drillers. Bumblebee is one of Optimus Prime's most trusted lieutenants, and although he might not appear to be the strongest or the most powerful of the Autobots, Bumblebee more than makes up for this with a bottomless well of luck, determination, and bravery. He would gladly give his life to protect others and stop the Decepticons. He's one of the best fighters in the entire series, easily able to take down whole swarms of Decepticons or Terrorcons by himself, and is one of the only Transformers with the unique ability to reform himself after an injury. Dragonstorm is a massive three-headed dragon, the mighty combined form of the legendary 12 Guardian Knights who formed to stop Quintessa. It appeared in medieval times to help Merlin wipe out the Saxons and win the war for Camelot, and then in modern day, reformed again in order to help Optimus take down Quintessa and her Infernicons. If the first Transformers were Primus' disciples, then the Fallen is his Judas. At the dawn of time, he was Megatronus, one of a brotherhood of vastly powerful beings dedicated to the well-being of their world. But the Fallen would turn against his brother Primes in order to pursue his own ends, earning the moniker of the first Decepticon in the process. His frightening form is a metal cage for primal, burning forces of chaos, giving him the appearance of a living furnace, and purging him of what empathy and morality remained. All that remains now is hatred and purest rage. The Fallen is immensely powerful. He commands the mystic arts, and when at full strength, he can unmake creation at will. He's rarely defeated. At best, he's contained, where he waits with eternal patience for the chance to unleash his dark powers once again. Quintessa is a mysterious and powerful space sorceress. The self-described prime of life, she claims to have created the Cybertronian species, and considers Cybertron to be hers to command. But then again, she's also been referred to as the Great Deceiver, so how much of what she says is actually true may be up for debate. What does appear to be true about Quintessa is that she's a ruthless, genocidal psychopath with massive delusions of grandeur, which quite frankly makes her more endearing to the tyrannical Megatron than to the noble Optimus Prime. Speaking of Optimus Prime, of course he had to be the most powerful Autobot. I mean, he is the leader of the Autobots for a reason. Long ago, he was just the humble leader of Cybertron's Science Division, which studied the Allspark, and was protected by Lord High Protector Megatron's military. But when Megatron was corrupted by the Fallen, Optimus discovered that he was the last of the dynasty of the Primes, hidden away when the Fallen destroyed their lineage. In response to Megatron's attempts to seize the Allspark and conquer other worlds, Optimus assumed his proper title and rallied the Autobots to stand against the Decepticons. As obsessively as Megatron strives to achieve his objective, Optimus is equally as dedicated to stopping him, even at the cost of his life, his world, and if necessary, his own people. It was on his order that the Allspark was sent into space, dooming Cybertron to a slow death and his people to a nomadic life. The sacrifices he has made weigh heavily on him, but they must be done, for there's no other choice. He knows the ambitions that lurk in Megatron's heart, and they must never see the light of day. Lives must be kept free from the threat of Megatron's tyranny, no matter the cost. This obsession with the defeat of Megatron has robbed Optimus of some of his earlier idealism, creating a certain ruthlessness beneath his otherwise honest and caring personality. Prime is not one for second chances, and is willing to consider any action that might lead to victory, short of directly sacrificing those he cares about. Unicron is the eternal arch-enemy of his twin brother Primus. Also known as the Lord of Chaos, the Chaos Bringer, and the Planet Eater, he is dedicated to consuming the universe. His massive form is powered by the consumption of planets, moons, stars, and even the very fabric of existence. Unicron will not be finished until his ultimate goal is attained, to bring an end to the annoying creation all around him, and to find peace by becoming the living center of a swirling, infinite torrent of nothingness at the end of all things. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.